I wanted to take a few minutes this morning to kind of follow up on some stuff I put out there on social media before. LinkedIn is something that a lot of people really struggle to learn how to use. I know it took me a minute to figure out how to use this sucker too. So I wanted to show you kind of how I learned to use it and how it's been beneficial and how I think I'm really going to use it in the future. So this is kind of the entry screen where you just come up for those of you who haven't been on it before. And it's really more of a professional networking service than, let's say, YouTube, not YouTube, I'm sorry, but Twitter or Facebook, where you're really engaging in just social people. Majority of people that are on LinkedIn are on here for business purposes, and so really using it for that is really cool. Basically, you can connect with people like on Facebook. It's a little more tricky to connect with them because sometimes you have to know them or you have to say how you know them as opposed to just saying, okay, I want to be your friend. But once you get on the page, you kind of take a look at the layout. It kind of shows you the friends timeline, everybody that you connect with's timeline. It gives you little things like jobs that you may like based upon your profile, groups that you may like that may fit your interests or things that you've done in the past, who's viewed you, and then also how many people have viewed you recently, and a couple advertising, and then also it gives you other people that you may know. And so you can hop in there and see who else you may know, and you may be like, hey, I know Jenna Williams. I know Gwen Howard from the state legislature. Let me connect with her. So if I say I want to connect with Gwen, depending on how they have their settings set, you can just simply send an invitation, and she'll either accept it or not. Or a box will come up that'll tell you uh, how do you know that person, and or it'll make them you put their email in before that you can add them. So I'm going to add Gwen because Gwen is going to be running against Lee Terry, and so I kind of like to keep up with her and see what's happening. Now, jobs is a really cool deal because you can kind of structure in the jobs that you may be interested in based upon your profile. And so here's some that they brought up for me. You see a lot of economic development stuff, which makes sense because that's my profile. So that's the job side. Now the profile is pretty interesting because when you look at your profile, this is really a much more descriptive form of profiling than it is on Facebook. So if you take a look, my profile is 100% complete, and that means I filled everything they asked me to fill out. So I have my name, my job title, my education, the places that I've worked in the past. You can connect with me on Twitter up there. And then it comes down and it kind of shows all of the things that I put out there that I can or can do. And then it has a more description, a richer description of the jobs that I've done at in the past, all the way back to when I was a business banker at Wells Fargo. And then it shows kind of my education and all of that good stuff. And so it posts all the activity that I put up here. See, I've been putting a lot of stuff that you all have been seeing and some links that I flipped over to the Facebook page, some of the things I talked about. And so that's the basics in a nutshell. Now, to me, this is the most powerful component of it, is the groups section. The groups, unlike in Facebook, are really geared around professional groups of like-minded individuals who are trying to do things in that field. Whereas a Facebook group, you can just ask anybody to come, and they mostly do. This one, you have to self-select in, so people can't reach out to you to bring you in. You got to want to join. And so here are the few of the groups that I have. So African American business professionals, African American business owners, the Big O Networking Group, Black Executives Network. But some of the ones that I've really been keying on have been the economic development professionals and the economic gardening. And I also use the Big O Network, I take that back, to advertise the Biz Day. And then National Black MBA Association and some of the others. So economic gardening is a big deal for me because I'm working on developing these entrepreneurship based communities, not just in Omaha and North Omaha, but also across rural. And so for work, I'm working on putting together a guide for that. And so I came in and I said, hey, I work at the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City. I'm developing this blah, blah, blah. And I'm in this group, and then all of a sudden I get these great responses. This guy named Jack Newcomb from Kansas, who does great work in terms of economic gardening entrepreneurship. A couple others, and then this guy right here, Chris Gibbons. He's the guy that actually created the concept of economic gardening 23 years ago in Denver. And he just says, hey, we created it. Give me a call. Let's talk about it. And so that's phenomenal. You got people who are willing to reach out to you in the same field, or you can communicate with people in the same field and build networks that you might not have in where you're at. For example, there's nobody in Omaha who really knows a lot about economic gardening, especially not to the level of the guy who created it. But yet through LinkedIn, I can find them. And so that's it in a nutshell. I encourage you to get on here and create a group. Let's see if there's a group on music, because I know a lot of you guys like music. And let's see what pops up under the search. Media professionals, music and entertainment professionals, music biz. You have all of these different things that you can hop into, join a group, learn from people that you might not normally be able to learn from here in Omaha or wherever you're at when you're watching this, and really build relationships, because networking is so powerful to help enhance your business or the things that you do. So that's it. That's how you use LinkedIn in a nutshell. This wasn't intended to be a long video, but just a video to kind of show you, some of the things that you can do to enhance your business. And I always leave you with my great desktop picture of Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. So good luck. Remember, follow on Twitter. I am Dell Gines. Follow me on LinkedIn, which is Dell Gines. And of course, if you're watching this, you probably got me on Facebook already, which is Dell Gines. Or the group, join the group, ownsmallbiz.com. Thanks again. Talk to you later.